Mr. Darcy, if you suppose the mode of your declaration affected me in any other way than it spared me the concern which I might have felt in refusing you, had you behaved in a more gentlemanlike manner, I would have said yes. Oh, Mr. Darcy, I am just waiting for you. Where are you? Oh.
Yeah, I thought he was a dick.
Have you read Pride and Prejudice, Henry?
No, but I did see a bit of it on TV, and I gotta be honest with you.
It's never as good as reading the book.
Yeah.
Huh. Except for Colin Firth.
Yeah, that guy, that Mr. Darcy. Really rude. I wouldn't lean up against a wall and sneer at everybody. I'd ask you to dance. You'd be handsome enough to tempt me.
No, you're missing the point.
You know, as your friend, Kathy, I have to tell you, you need to get over this Jane Austen thing. No guy can live up to it. Have you ever considered your life may not be a modern-day version of Pride and Persuasion?
Pride and Persuasion? It's Pride and Prejudice! Oh, everybody does that! And I'm not asking any man to live up to it.
So why are we parading around in costume?
I told you, because we're going to the Jane Austen Festival.
And you don't think that's a little weird?
Nope.
Dressing up like English people from 100 years ago?
200 years ago, and no. Besides, I love the clothes.
Yeah, well, I mean, you look really good in them. So we're really going to this fucking festival?
Jane Austen Festival.
Oh, for a woman who wrote, what, 3 books?
Oh my God, 6. She wrote 6 books, not just Pride and Prejudice, all the others, even Northanger Abbey.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it.
Yeah, most people haven't, but... Oh, I just want the romance. In Jane Austen, the romance is in the way the heroines are valued for who they are. See, Darcy starts off as this really rude guy who snubs Elizabeth because he thinks she isn't, handsome enough or rich enough or sophisticated enough for him. But then he begins to fall in love with her because she's witty and intelligent and has wonderful eyes. And then he has to earn her love.
Which is somewhat ridiculous, you must admit.
Oh, it's not ridiculous. Oh, Mr. Darcy.
Well, I was right, We can happily be equals.
You are a gentleman. I am a gentleman's daughter.
Oh, but who is your mother? What are your connections? So vulgar, just like your younger sisters.
Well, hold on, no. That's Lady Catherine de Bourgh's lines. You don't feel like that.
I told you what I felt when I first proposed. I always knew I was doing you a favour, a big step up for you.
Oh, how relentlessly arrogant you are. If you had married that awful Caroline Bingley, you would have become even more stuck up and rude than you are now. I brought out the best in you.
And didn't I pay for it? What your family cost me first and last.
Oh, wait, hey, no. Our first fight. Oh, he wouldn't say stuff like that, would he? I mean, he might have when he first fell for Elizabeth, but men can change, can't they? Darcy did, and they got married and lived happily ever after. I know, it was not about the money.
Oh, it's always about the money, Kathy. I've been reading bits of your Jane's books, and it seems like it's always about the money.
Oh, well, not in that way. Things were different then.
Yeah, I gotta give it to her, though. Janie's got a pretty good handle on it. Although I don't know about this guy waiting around 8 years for sex with some whiny bitch. Oh, sorry, making love. All right, true love. What do you want from her?
Captain Wentworth did not exactly wait around for Anne. He went off in a huff when she was persuaded to break her engagement. That's why it's called Persuasion.
Well, she's not the strongest of characters, was she? I mean, if she loves the guy.
She was 20. They had no money. Look, she loved him, and really, if she did marry him, he would not have gone off to war so readily and made his fortune on the high seas. But that's the point. It's about revolutions and feelings, second chances, a chance to correct a mistake.
What mistake? So, you admit it was a mistake when you broke up with me for the first time?
Yes. No, I mean...
What do you mean? 8 years, Anne. You really screwed me up. After you promised to love me forever. And then when some neighbour persuades you to break it off with me, poof! It's over.
Oh, but we're together now.
8 wasted years.
Oh, well, you don't seem to have been pining for me. And you certainly don't seem to have wasted your time, made a pile of money, and then the way you carried on after those Musgrove sisters. Frederick Wentworth. It was frankly embarrassing.
You wouldn't give me the time of day. You wouldn't speak to me.
I was not lost at your sudden appearance.
You wouldn't speak to me for weeks.
Oh, this simmering resentment. You've just got to build a bridge and sail under it, all right? I am sorry, jeez! Anyway, what about that letter you wrote? I was on a train when I first read that letter.
You pierce my soul.
That is what he wrote, what Wentworth wrote. I cried right there on the train. I thought that letter meant absolute forgiveness.
Yeah, so you can't keep a guy hanging on forever. He's bound to carry a grudge.
Well, then he should speak up. How is the girl to know if he does not say anything?
Well, I mean, maybe if the guy feels that he might, ruin what he has with the girl if he speaks up. What if the girl you fancy sees you only as like a brother or something? What would you do in that situation?
Emma and Knightley. Well, of course the girl's going to see a girl.
Not at all like Emma and Knightley.
If all he ever does is tell her what she's doing wrong. I mean, what woman wants to be lectured all the time? And as for Knightley, well, at least he's chivalrous, and he's courteous, and he's really good morals, and... Well, on the other hand, you have to admit he is really self-righteous.
You can be very rude. Your mistreatment of Miss Bates, the Frank Churchill thing, not to mention Harriet Smith. Badly done, Emma. Badly done, indeed.
Well, then, is this what married life is going to be? You're going to spend our time telling me what to do and how to do it?
Not if you are sensible. Men of sense do not want silly wives.
Are you calling me silly?
Not at all. You're a young woman of uncommon sense when you choose to exercise it.
And what was that then? Your idea of a proposal?
It is difficult when one knows someone for years and years and the relationship is more like that of siblings.
I suppose he's right. I mean, think of Edmund in Mansfield Park. He's really nice to Fanny, but he's sort of shallow. He doesn't stand up for her when his father wants to ship her off to live with her Aunt Norris, or when she refuses Henry Crawford. He only ever sees things in terms of his own desires, and in the meantime, he's flirting like mad with Mary Crawford.
Well, you must admit, Fanny, she is beautiful, very hot, sizzling.
Yes, but I thought you above being taken in by looks.
Yes, but I am a man after all, and Mary's playing hard to get. Something you were never good at. Everyone knew you fancied.
Hey, you were the best of a bad situation. I was taken away from my own family, and I was forced to live with yours, and everyone was mean to me except for you, because I was, 7 at the time? Oh, he was the only one who was nice to Fanny for years. Of course she loved him. Not that he deserved it. I mean, it's not as though he was witty or charming. I guess the best you can say is that he wasn't a hypocrite.
So what? He was like, the silver medal?
No, she was right for Edmund. Well, if there ever was a silver medal, it was Colonel Brandon. I mean, after Willoughby.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit strange. I mean, this Colonel Brandon guy has the hots for Mary Ann because she reminds him of his long-lost dead love. I mean, it's a bit morbid, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Yes, it is. It's very dark. It's creepy, verging on creepy.
Shut up! What creature couldn't swoon when he says, the air is full of spice? But like Marianne, I require only that a man's taste coincides into every part of mine. He must enter into all my feelings, the same music, the same books must charm us both. He must be...
Perfect?
Yes, no.
Yes! I read Sense and Sensibility, and it seems to me that Marianne was a bit of a runner-up, a sloppy second for Brandon too.
Jane got it right. She matched up the right women with the right men.
What about Northanger Abbey? Let's talk about that one then.
Oh, Henry Tilney.
Yeah, Henry Tilney. What about him?
Well, Henry wasn't proud or resentful or priggish or uptight. He was just really nice and funny. Oh, and he asked Cathy to dance, and he knew about clothes, and he entered into all her passions, and he read her favourite book.